Okay, and we are recording.
Hello.
Cool. Let's see. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Am I in it?
Yeah,
Oh,
you'll be in it.
Can you guys see me?
I can't see me,
I'm good.
but I'm sure I'm in the shot. Yeah,
I'm good.
You're definitely in the shot. Yeah.
Hello again, YouTube.
Hello, America.
Hi.
Hello, random raccoon who found that dead hiker's phone and stumbled onto our page and gave us our first view.
Thank you.
Thank you,
For
raccoon.
that.
Thank you, Trash Dog.
Bless.
We just watched Crash,
Yeah.
the David Cronenberg, so car fucking, not racism.
Yeah. So, I don't know where to start with this movie. Other than that, it's a movie about car crashes and sex and not love.
Oh, and we have a new one. Name?
Anthony. Not Tony. Don't fucking call me Tony.
Yeah. So, how do we start with Crash? It's a movie that probably has like. How long do you think the sex scenes are in this movie that like comprise it? I'm thinking like 30 minutes. 40
It's
minutes?
gotta be at least a third sex scenes.
Yeah, a third of it or.
Third is like
scenes.
sex and foreplay.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Actually, if you count foreplay, maybe more.
Maybe more. Yeah.
But
definitely.
this is a movie made up of those scenes. Like when you're watching a movie and you're like, oh, here comes that scene, and you cringe.
Yeah.
This movie, you just cringe. It's a great movie. Don't get us wrong. It's just
It's just really uncomfortable.
It's
just
amazingly uncomfortable.
Yeah, but it's meant to be uncomfortable, but it's just uncomfortable. Like I keep imagining like what poor people would decide to go into the movie theater, what they were expecting from this movie when it first came out, versus what they actually felt when the movie started playing. And I have no idea, but they did make an award just for this movie. The
Most audacious.
Yeah, the most audacious.
I'll have some info down below.
Yeah. So
Good for Thanksgiving dinners, Christmas dinners, family outings.
Watch it with
reunions.
grandma.
watch it with grandma. Oh, grandma will love it.
Watch your little sister.
It's classy. They still had Bush.
They had landing strips. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So there's
no underwear though.
There's quite a bit of nudity in this film, obviously, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of sex, and it's actually pretty gratuitous, but not like no, it's not gratuitous. It's just there's a lot of sex.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you should watch the NC-17 version. There's at least 10 more minutes of this film in the NC-17 version.
Yeah.
Most of it takes place during sex, and it's
But,
dialogue that really does add to the film.
yeah.
We'll never find out what his anus looked like.
Yeah. We'll never find it.
Spoilers: you don't find out what his anus looked like.
Spoiler, yeah.
To the
But I'm trying to think. So there's the wife and the husband, and then the Mrs. Incredible woman.
oh yeah, so
But like it's like a wife and a husband and like a very loveless.
this
It's not like
this is James Spader when he was young and still had hair and
Yeah.
could play a leading man instead of a villain.
Yeah, but they're like in a
They're in an open relationship.
They're in an open relationship. I would kind of want to describe it as loveless.
You know, like okay, let's try and do the plot real quick.
But
okay?
yeah.
So plot. So the plot is guy and girl open relationship, cannot get each other off, not happy.
Looking for that spark.
They're looking for a spark, so they sort of cheat on each other and tell the tale, and then have sex while telling the tale. Mm-hmm. And then eventually, the hero, played by James Spader, crashes his car, and
then they meet
Holly Hunter's character. Yes, Holly Hunter's in this movie. And
yeah. Then they meet Vaughan.
Well, yeah, they meet Vaughan and Holly Hunter, and
Well, Holly takes him to the drug dealer's house. Vaughan. The drug
Yeah.
dealer.
But
drug dealer. The drug being car crashes.
yeah.
This movie
This
is
is an interesting.
this movie's really hard to unpack after sitting through it.
It is.
It's
I don't want to
Like-
get my car to.
Like imagine like car crashes taking place of every single metaphor that a movie could possibly hold, and just replacing it with car crashes.
like
And like obsession, like that is like this movie. It has like every metaphor you can think of, like every basic metaphor is replaced with a car crash and people sexualizing and obsessing over car crashes and like the brutality of it,
or just cars in general.
or just cars in general.
There's a lot of grinding on cars in this movie.
Yeah.
It's
And also like
such a
having
cool movie.
like like having like being disabled because of a car crash.
Yeah,
There's a lot of that.
Yeah, it is a Cronenberg. I'm going to jump into that too. It's
Yeah,
a Cronenberg.
it's a Cronenberg.
Which means that body horror is a part of this, but the body horror in this is not The Fly or
It's
Videodrome
like
or
more
it's
normal.
It's the horror of like, it's the horror of surviving like a traumatic experience, and everyone in this movie is just sort of coping with that.
Yeah.
In very unhealthy ways.
Yeah.
Especially the guy with the fake boobs.
Yeah.
He went out alone.
He had a dog with him,
He did have a
Okay,
dog with
yeah.
him.
and
Ooh, the
everyone
dog.
else-
Ooh, the dog. Nice touch.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You did the Jane Mansfield without me.
Yeah.
Oh,
So.
the dog.
So.
Perfect.
So we should talk about the Vaughan character, and it opens up with the Vaughan character staging James Dean's car crash, and he managed to get a crowd of people in it. And
Apparently
it
this
starts
is the
with
thing you can
him.
watch.
It starts with him talking like really like kind of sexy and whatever, with like this microphone held up to him, and you think that he's not talking to anybody at first, and he's just a freak, and then you learn the opposite is the case, and he has this whole crowd of people. And then the car crash happens, and that's not when it gets weird. It gets way more weirder after that. Like you end up finding that he has a whole photo album of all these crashes that he photographed, including the ones that the two main characters were in before you even knew of this guy. And he has a camera with him, and for all of the crashes, he like goes and like takes pictures, like it's pornography to him.
He
So
framed
was he
it
ever?
pornography.
Was he
Yeah.
really a doctor?
No, he was
No.
just.
Okay, he was again. It was a disguise.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
just
He's
a guy who.
He was just
He was just.
He was just
Like we don't know what Vaughan did for a
For a
living.
Well, he
living.
was a prophet for car sex.
The prophetic tattoo of the
prophetic. Yeah, he got like a steering wheel tattooed to him. That was
broken
like
steering wheel.
that was like an imprint.
Well, it's not
like,
perfect.
I remember
it's
when I
supposed to be rugged and
Yeah.
mangled.
It
I remember when I
it feels
first
like an
watched this.
imprint.
Wasn't it supposed to be an imprint of somebody's like car crash? Come on, go be friends. Go to D doesn't sound right though.
The bones on the floor. Sorry about
Bones on
that.
the floor.
If it's not one thing, it's another.
Yeah.
Usually it's the other.
It's always the other.
So I forget what I was talking about.
I'm
But there's like
I'm missing a battery.
Cigarettes.
Oh yeah, well another thing, yeah, cigarettes. Another thing was like about the whole like sexualization. They smoke cigarettes a lot, but it's never after a sex scene. It's only after a scene having to do with cars. Yeah, this movie loves cars, and
It's like a preempt to the self-destruction that's really happening.
and they're horrible coping mechanisms.
Yeah, this movie deals a lot with coping mechanisms and.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I was talking about Vaughan, but
Vaughan.
Vaughan is just like also another fun activity of Vaughan's is driving really close to other cars and almost crashing with them, but not exactly crashing with them. He's a little bit of a maniac.
Technical aspects. This movie is definitely a 90s movie, but it plays against the traditional flat 90s cinema. It's got the same lighting conventions. It's actually kind of funny because it does teal green before teal green was what everyone did. It's
And like the contrast between gold and like hot and cold.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like teal green. Like Transformers does way too much of that nowadays. Transformers actually was literally just orange and teal. But teal green, teal orange. Oh my god.
Teal blue.
Teal blue. Teal
Teal
blue is blue orange. Blue orange.
Yeah, blue orange.
Blue versus orange. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's
It's a thing.
I mean, the movie's amazingly well shot. It uses a lot of subtle dollies. There's a lot of mounted shots. There's not.
There's a lot of good pan shots. Very technical.
The movies. There aren't very many like handheld shots that I can remember.
No,
there's
not
a lot
really.
of like tracking shots and all that, but they're all very mechanical, which
Yeah,
fits
which
definitely the
fits.
nature.
There's everything in the movie is cold.
and calculated.
It is very cold, and the music is cold and full of.
Yeah.
It's
Like, there's no, like, don't watch this movie if you want, like, a lighthearted tale about two people in love.
If
or
you're looking for a sex scene that's hot, you're not gonna get it here.
Yeah, you're not gonna get it here. Even though the movie is mostly sex scene, they're not nice sex scenes. They're very, very empty sex scenes.
Well, I mean, unless you get turned on by car crashes, and this is
Then,
a perfect
yeah, then
movie.
go ahead.
Yeah, you found the gold mine.
What?
Have you seen his asshole?
Have you seen his anus?
Have you seen his anus?
Do you know what his anus looks like?
He never said no.
Do you want to suck his dick?
You don't know. There's so much space between each.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point he had it, but he totally she's the guy's asshole by the end of the film.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to suck his dick?
This
Do you
movie's
want to? Yeah, it's just like.
You know, this movie's good. It's good to watch alone though. I'm gonna just throw that out there. Like not like it's good to watch alone, or
If you're
Or
watching it alone, no, Jesus is watching with you.
No, Jesus looked away when this movie was made.
Or watch it with a friend that you really want to make cringe.
Oh god, that's the great thing.
Like
to
the
do.
cringe factor in this is very high. If you just want to like torture your friends through this movie,
No, it's a perfect one to, like,
go ahead and use this movie. Yeah, but otherwise, like, you know, you're not the same person going in as you are going out. I'll say that. I've seen this movie before, like 2 years ago, and I can definitely say that. And this time, you know, I don't feel changed because I've seen it before and it already ruined me that time. So yeah.
So you
So
spent the
Crash-
last 2 years walking around as a shell.
As a shell
of what used to be.
Yeah, exactly, of what used to be.
So,
innocent and pure.
Yeah.
So, Crash Virgin, how was your response to this film?
I'm very upset that I have to drive after this. If you ever decide to watch the movie, stay indoors. Go to sleep. Try and dream of nice things.
Don't see a car the next day.
Or 5 minutes after.
Or 5 minutes after, yeah.
I'm trying to think of like there's.
Well, do we have any final thoughts?
I don't have any in between thoughts. This movie is so.
Yeah.
This movie that it's really. Yeah, sorry this one's so short, everyone. It's a mixture of the battery on my camera being kind of low and also just this movie not being something to easily unpack.
Yeah.
And I know we've watched some movies that weren't easy to unpack, but they were easy to watch at least.
Yeah.
We've watched some movies that were hard to watch, but they were easy to unpack just because they were
But
dumb.
like, also, how much can you say about a movie that's mostly sex scene and car banging? Like.
Very to the point.
But you know that there's like a message in this. Like, you know, like it hits like all the points of cinema. It's just a really uncomfortable thing because it's supposed to be.
It succeeds. It succeeds at being comfortable. It succeeds at making you look at things from a different light. It succeeds in every...
Making you look at your own demons by pointing out something that's ridiculous.
Yeah. It definitely uses absurdism to get across points.
This movie actually reminds me of, like, it could be something like a South Park episode because of how absurd it is and how like, you know how like South Park is like way too, like they don't get way too deep into the point, but they just do it because they know that they can and because they'll know if there's like some kind of message. That's exactly what this movie reminds me of. It's like, except like spread out throughout an hour and 40 minutes. Like, it reminds me a lot of like those really absurd and grotesque South Park episodes, but it's a Cronenberg movie.
Because it just leaves you with like your jaw open, like,
Why? It's just like, what did I do?
What?
Yeah, what have I done?
What?
Yeah.
An hour and 40 minutes of what did I just watch?
Well, once again, technically it's great.
No, technically, like, there's a lot more we could have said technically.
Editing is amazingly well done. There's a lot of like weird reverse match cuts and
The
match
music
cuts.
mashup with it, every scene was very calculated.
It's the sound design is uncomfortably amazing.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Who was the guy?
Who's the sound designer?
Sound design. I don't know the sound designer.
Or the sound, or the
guy,
composer.
Shit, the guy who did the Lord of the Rings.
He did Lord of the Rings. something Winters. I don't know.
Wait,
We'll know what we'll do. We'll flash it up on the screen right here.
Wait.
Right here.
I think I've still got
Because
the thing.
no,
Nope.
right here. We'll do it right here. Yeah.
Howard Shore.
Yeah, there we go.
Howard Shore.
You already would have known that because it'll flash.
It'll
right
still be
here.
flashing.
We'll do a lot
Howard
of
Shore.
cuts.
We'll add some like light effects and some like party favors. Oh,
I'm gonna
you're welcome.
practice
All of our party favorites.
some kinetic type of just the word Howard Shore. That's the name Howard Shore.
Very slow.
flying in
It's
different
gonna be
directions.
as slow as that pan in the movie, at like 1/10 the speed. Howard
The like 1/10, 1/20th speed
Yeah.
Michael Bay shot. That just like predates Michael Bay, but it's just like a really slow version of a Michael Bay shot.
So what's next? Next we're watching
The Dreamers.
The Dreamers, yeah. So stay tuned for that, y'all.
Though because she's not seen this one, I'm sure she'll have more of a reaction than she did for this.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'll have more of a reaction because I haven't seen The Dreamers in a couple of years. I saw Crash last year.
Yeah.
Gotta show it to new friends. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my god.